Our Story Productions presents Martin County on TV, spotlighting the organizations, businesses, and citizens who are making a difference in our community today. And with interviews and stories done by local television shows over the last 25 years, here you're sure to learn more about the county we call home. Get ready, for this is Martin County on TV.
Hello and welcome. I'm Lenny Tvedten, and each month we're visiting with Martin County veterans on a series called Their Sacrifices, Our Freedom. Today joining me are Jeff Hagen and Gary Schaub. First of all, thank you for your service and for being in my book. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, I think we'll just start with telling us a little bit about yourself. And Gary, let's start with you. Just a little bit about yourself.
Well, I pretty much have been working in civil engineering most of my life. Started at a pretty early age. My dad was a county highway engineer over in Freeborn County, and our family moved a couple of times when I was very young. Glenwood, Minnesota is my birth town. We lived in Morris, Minnesota, and eventually moved to Albert Lee, Minnesota, where I spent most of my early life going to school there. And after that, went to college at Mankato State and ended up being drafted into the Army, got married.
That's a big government job, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff?
Well, everybody pretty much knows me. I grew up in this area. Spent a lot of time here. I was when I graduated, I went to broadcasting school, and I was in radio for a little while, and decided at that point that it was time for me to do a little bit of a change. So I decided to go into the Army. I enlisted and was in the Army for 3 years. Ended up being sent in '91 to the Persian Gulf, and so I spent the last part of my tour there, and came back to the United States. Went back into radio for a little while. Mm-hmm. Then I decided to go into television for a few years. Did that for a number of years, and I received a call one day to wondering if I would be interested in managing the Fairmont Photo Press. And so I became the manager there and was there for 7 years. And when I took another call, and that one was from a little bit higher authority, I was called to I'm training to be a minister right now. I'm with St. John's Lutheran Church in Sherburne, and I'm currently in the seminary and working my way towards ordination. So
Good. And you were also on the Martin County Historical Society Board of Directors.
Yes, I was. Yep, enjoyed that very much.
And put up with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk just a little bit about your military experience. Things like the branch of the service you were in, if you haven't already mentioned that, where and when you served, your duties, just anything just in general that you think was important from your time serving in the military. And Gary, do you want to?
Sure. Well, I was drafted in 1968, approximately May that year. Went to basic training at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Finished there and was sent to AIT at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And I went through that training for artillery. And then I applied for NCO Academy and was accepted, finished that, and then I was off to working with the U.S. Army Testing Center there at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And after that was done, then I got orders to ship to Vietnam, where I'd be assigned to one of the divisions over there.
Okay, and AIT is Advanced Infantry Training?
They'll say infantry or individual training.
Right.
Either one will work.
NCO is non-commissioned officer?
That's correct, yeah. When I graduated, I was a buck sergeant, E5.
Sure. Okay, Jeff?
Well, when I enlisted in 1988, I went to basic training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and then from there I was in advanced infantry training. I took mine actually in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and then once I completed that, they sent me over to Germany because I had asked if it was possible if I could serve over in Germany. My grandparents at the time were living in Amsterdam, Holland. Plus, I toured Europe quite a bit when I was growing up, and I wanted to do some more of that, so I was assigned to a field artillery unit in the Army over there. It was the 1st Infantry Division Forward, which is the Big Red One, and I worked in it was a field artillery battalion, so I was in the ammo platoon. I was the clerk. I handled all of the paperwork and all that type of stuff, and then later on, my sergeant major of the battalion needed a driver, so I became his driver and did a lot of time behind the wheel driving generals and all those guys when they were coming to tour. But and then while I was in Germany, that was right after the Berlin Wall came down. They were closing a lot of posts at the time. Our post was one of them. It was in Neu-Ulm, Germany, or New-Ulm, Germany. Ours was one of the posts that was decided to close down. We were in the process of packing. I was planning on going to Fort Polk, Louisiana. In fact, my stuff was shipped there, but that's when the ground war, or the air war, I should say, from the Persian Gulf broke out. And my MOS, or my training, was in the truck driving. And that's what I went into the service with, was a truck driver. They needed a lot of truck drivers at that time, so they sent all of us from where I was in Germany. I was put on a C-130 and flew down into Saudi Arabia and was driving trucks down there, semis. So that was what my time, and I did that until, what was it? I was discharged in June of 1991 and came back here at that point. So that was my time in the military.
So how was the transportation system down there? How were the roads and everything?
There really wasn't roads. It was flat. I mean, it was as flat as this table, and it was all sand, I guess you'd call it. And the only way we knew we were driving on roads is they had markers every once in a while saying whatever the road name was. And yeah, it was interesting. When you're driving a civilian semi, on the roads down there, and there was no such thing as traffic laws. You're in a war. Your job is to get your things there. I was hauling tanks and stuff up into Iraq and Kuwait, and then what I would do is I would bring captured tanks or captured different pieces back, and POWs, because I had a Western Star. It was a super sleeper semi, so we could actually haul people back. So I would bring MPs back, and they'd with captured Iraqi forces. So,
any danger in terms of being fired on or anything?
Oh yeah, I was one of my earlier runs that we were doing up into Iraq. I'm driving along, and all of a sudden I heard this big crash. Realized my windshield had broke out. Well, what it was these guys would be sitting along in the sand dunes or wherever they were protected from, and the snipers, they would shoot at you. Boy. And so of course I stopped my semi and crawled underneath, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me, I'm looking up and there's the fuel tank for the so that's not a good place to be. I got back in and just continued on the run then, so without a windshield.
And Gary, you were in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And did you experience that as far as being fired upon as well?
Well, yeah. I was with the, I probably should say I got over there in April of 1969. And
right in the thick of it.
Yeah, left Oakland, California, then flew over, stopped in Guam on the way, and landed in, it'd be Tan Son Nhut Air Force Base there in Saigon. And then we went directly to what they call the 90th replacement, in which case I was picked up by the 101st Airborne Division and shipped up to I Corps. And from there, I was assigned to A Battery of the 1st of 321st Artillery. And there was 3 batteries, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. And there's 6 howitzers per battery. Mm-hmm. I was a crew chief on a howitzer, a 105 millimeter, and it was the M102 version, so it was a low profile. We didn't have the trail sections like you normally see with the 105s. These were considered brand new, and they allow you to rotate 360 degrees without picking up the howitzer itself. It would actually rotate around. Very, very nice weapon to use over there for transport. It was easily carried by Chinooks.
Yep.
And we had what we called 822 bags, which were strung underneath the howitzer, and then by straps, you'd carry these, and we carried our ammunition and personal items and whatever from place to place with that. We did convoy a few times, but most of our moves were made by Chinook helicopter from one mountain to another, or hill, or whatever.
Well, thinking back to your experiences, if you could pick out one experience that would be your most memorable from the time you served, what would that be?
Probably when we moved, we had to hook up to the Chinooks, which would hover over the top of us. So, that was kind of that's what the crew chief was supposed to do. It was pretty hazardous because that Chinook, it's going up and down, and you had to hook it into their clevis device that they had.
Right.
And try to stay kind of in visual communication with the man that was running the hoist, or the hooks. Mm-hmm. In fact, that's what we call the Chinook. We just call them the hooks are coming. So we never said Chinooks. But,
Sure.
And from there, I would guess that the experiences I had were numerable. I was on Bac Mao, which was second highest mountain in South Vietnam, and it was just a little over a mile high, and we were within sight of the South China Sea, so it was very picturesque. It actually had been a French resort area. It had a small little town, a little Catholic church, and numerous houses and stuff that were made for the hierarchy in the French and Vietnamese military. So we occupied that. Most of them were blowed up and destroyed, but we had command of, being that high, we had command of the area, so that's why they wanted us in there. Sure. We had, oh my gosh, it was cold up there. I wore 3 pairs of fatigues. The wind and rain was horrendous at times. Sure. And it was just a very narrow strip of land. You could, I suppose, about 150 feet over from edge to edge, and maybe about 300 feet long. So it was.
Okay, Jeff, what about you? Maybe you already mentioned your most memorable.
Actually, I had quite a few of them when I was in Germany itself. I had a lot of interesting things take place, especially when you're in an ammo platoon. Our job was to handle nuclear rounds. We trained on them. We actually did touch one once, yes. But most of the time we were training with dummies, because you would practice on if there would be a code sent down if they decided they wanted us to arm the nuclear rounds. So we'd practice codes, and they wouldn't tell us if it was a practice or not, right up until the time when they said, okay, that was just a practice. We were arming it, thinking it potentially could be the real thing, just hoping that it wasn't. But that was in Germany. But I think probably my most memorable part of my time was when I was first sent down to Saudi Arabia into the Persian Gulf. When we first got down there, the trucks from the United States hadn't arrived yet because they were coming by ship, the semis. So we were using local vehicles. I called them Ninja Turtles because they were old Mercedes semis, I guess you can call them, but they're extremely old. And because we weren't familiar with the territory, our first couple runs that we did, we actually rode with different drivers from different countries. Mine was Egyptian, and of course I didn't speak any of his language. He didn't speak a lick of English. So that was interesting going up. But our first run that we made, we were in convoy with, and we were hauling, like I said, tanks up there. And these are extremely heavy tanks. Their equipment was not made to haul this kind of weight. And so we were up there just on this side of the Iraq border, and my truck, the trailer axle snapped. Oh. So, of course, the rest of the convoy had to go on. We had to stay behind until they could get another truck to come by to grab the tank that was on there, and we could nurse ours back home. So that first night I was out there, I can remember it was really dark, and I was on guard because we had this tank there. And I can remember looking in the distance, and you could see this flashing going on. You could hear the explosions, and didn't know at the time, but apparently that was where the front lines were at that point on the ground war. And all I can remember was, here I am, a farm boy from Minnesota, over in this country that has nothing but sand, and what am I doing here?
Well, thank you, Gary and Jeff, for joining us today, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I'd also like to thank our viewers and our sponsors, the Mike Gary family, Sweet Financial Partners, Erpelding Voigt and Company, CPAs, Linsey Prentice, American Legion, post number 36 for making this show possible. We'll see you next time on Their Sacrifices, Our Freedom.
Everybody, welcome back to another installment of everybody's favorite game show, Where's That Business? I'm your host, Blake, from the Fairmont Opera House. Happy to be with you here today. Now, we have 3 brand new contestants here on Where's That Business. Unfortunately, our last Lauren, could not be here today, so she gave this to me. So I've been polishing and taking care of it. But I will be giving it away to one of our winners, to one of these lovely ladies here today. So let's find out who they are, where they're from, and what they're doing here. Let's start right here.
Hello, I'm Alexandra Hurney. I am a stylist at Booj Boutique here in town. We sell women's clothing, accessories, home decor, and our slogan is Be Original or Jealous. Come shop with us.
Whoo, be original or jealous. You know, that's a great slogan. Mine is not that. Mine's copy everybody and hope nobody notices. So, thanks for being here, Alexandra. We appreciate your time. And next, who are you? Where are you from? What you doing here?
Hi, I'm Linsey Preuss. I'm the Economic Development Coordinator with the City of Fairmont, and I'm very excited to be here today. Thanks for having me.
Well, very excited to have you. Thanks. And you know, we'll get about halfway through this game, and then maybe we'll reconnect and decide if you're still excited or not, depending on how it goes. So, happy to have you here. We'll see how this goes for you, Linsey. And finally, right on the end, thanks for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Candy Becker. I'm from Grenada, and I have a home business. I upcycle clothing into hats or bags, and it's called Eye Candy Gone Green. And I brought a hat for each of the gals.
Oh, just the gals? That's okay. You know, I can't wear hats. Those, I would look really good in that kind of hat, but I did my hair up for the show, so I probably shouldn't wear a hat. But the hats and bags, man, I'm going to have to come find you because I need me a good hat and a good bag. So thank you so much for being here. And you said you had something else, though. What else is going on?
Announcement, I brought enough hats for the whole studio audience.
Oh my goodness, everybody here gets a hat. Wow. Oh my gosh. Now that, everybody but me, because she just brought one for the ladies and not for anybody but me. Thanks so much. We're happy to have you here. Be a lot of fun. So we're going to get going with our first business here, and Where's That Business? Now, remember, ring in. First one to ring in gets the first shot at the answer, and I'll try to see who rings in first. So if it's close, I'm just going to guess. So here we go. All right, ladies, here is our first business in Where's That Business? All right, Linsey, where's that business?
The Martin County Fair.
That's right. That's the Martin County Fair, known as Minnesota's other big fair. Martin County Fair features the largest number of attractions, events, and activities of any other fair in southern Minnesota. Each year they bring you quality musical entertainment featuring local and big-name talent, an open ranch rodeo, a variety of games, rides, and other amusements in the Midway, local and regional livestock shows, 4-H, FFA, open class exhibits, and so much more. Make sure you go and check out the Martin County Fair for good food, good racing, and great times. Nice work, Linsey. You are on the board. See, now you can be excited to be here because you got a point. We get that out of the way. Perfect. All right, we're going to move on to number 2. Ladies, where's that business? All right, Linsey, what's that business?
Boquette.
That's right, that is Boquette Building Supply. Boquette is a family-owned provider of high-quality building materials with locations in Truman, Fairmont, and Jackson, Minnesota. They help our area farmers, homeowners, and do-it-yourselfers improve their property with building and landscaping products and services. That's right, Boquette Building Supply right here in Fairmont. All right, nice work. So let's do a quick score check. We got 0. That's okay, we got time. We got 2. Good. And we got 0. There's time for you too, but we still got sweet hats, so that's a win, right? So we're going to get on to the next one. Now come on, get on the board. Here we go. Where's that business? All right. Where's that business?
Is that Heritage Acres?
That's right, that's Heritage Acres, an agricultural interpretive center designed to tell the ongoing story of farming. They became a vision in 1976 when it was realized how quickly a historic way of life was disappearing from the landscape. Located on 40 acres of rich Martin County prairie overlooking Fairmont's beautiful Lake Sisseton, they invite you to discover the many reasons the Upper Midwest is called America's breadbasket. Providing food and fiber for the world family is an essential and vital industry deserving recognition and preservation, and that's what they do right there at Heritage Acres. Nice work. Now we're at 0 here. We got 2 points there and 1 point for you. Now we're rolling on to the next one. Where's that business?
That's the Giddy Up Boutique. Ooh.
That's right, that's Giddy Up Boutique, a roundup of glam with a past. The Giddy Up Boutique is a consignment shop for women, men, and children. There you'll find gently used name brand clothing, jewelry, and shoes, as well as handmade items such as flower pins and headbands. Stop in and take a look. They believe we all could use a little giddy up in our wardrobes. Wonderful. Okay, now we're rolling on here. We got 0 points here. That's fine, you still got a sweet hat. And you got a sweet slogan, too. That counts for something. And we got Linsey with 2 points. And right there down on the end, Candy has got 2 points as well. So it's a tight race here, folks. We got a few more left to figure out the winner here. All right. Well, it's time for the next one. Now, this next one I got a little tricky on. So make sure you're paying real close attention. This isn't technically a business, but it's not technically not a business or not business. I don't know, but the picture you're going to see represents the work that this organization does. Where's this business?
The Humane Society.
That's right. That's right. The Martin County Humane Society is the group that cares for these homeless pets. As the Carl Netafee Memorial Shelter, they try to keep Carl's memory and legacy alive, not only helping homeless animals in Martin County, but around the area. The shelter is not the only county impound facility for stray animals, but they also house surrendered animals. So very good. That is the Martin County Humane Society. Nice work. We're on the board. Look at that. 1, 2, and 2 is our score. We're going to keep rolling on here with the next question here in Where's That Business? Ladies, where's that business?
Booj Boutique.
Booj Boutique, that's right. New to downtown Fairmont, the Booj Boutique offers an amazing selection of clothing and accessories for women and are proud to offer services to help people make the most of their home or office space with some fresh decor and accents. Now, it would have been a shame if you had missed that one. I don't know if you guys were just being friendly and letting her get that so that she can stay employed at Booj Boutique, but darn it, you got it, and we're all tied up now. We got 2, 2, and 2. Now, I only have 2 left. I have potentially a tiebreaker too, but let's try to avoid that because I don't want to have to try to break a tie here. So 2, 2, and 2, all the way across, we have 2 left. Ladies, in this nail-biter of a competition, every point matters, and this one matters as well. Where's that business? Oh, boy. Oh, goodness. We're going to do a coin flip. Here's my imaginary coin. Linsey. Linsey was first on that one. Linsey, where's that business?
Sweet Financial.
That's right. That's Sweet Financial. Sweet Financial brings local, personalized, and comprehensive financial planning, wealth management, and investment services to the southern Minnesota and northern Iowa regions, along with clients in 31 other states. I didn't know that. 31 other states, not just Fairmont. Their client-first mindset means they strive to always be transparent in everything they say and do. Sweet Financial Services here in Fairmont. Now, that was close. Don't do that again, all right? Make sure there's a break between the bell rings, because then I don't have to throw my imaginary coin, and so that we can have a fair determination of who gets this very shiny trophy that I've been polishing for a few weeks. All right, so final score check before the final question. We have 2 points right here for Alexandra. We have 3 points for Linsey in that highly contested last question. Got that point. And finally, Candy on the end with 2 points here. So now, Linsey, this is for the win, or we're going for ties, everybody. Okay? So it's every point matters, and this one matters, just like I said for the last one. So let's see what you guys get. Now, I felt tricky again for today's show. So this one is a business that, as we're looking forward to the improvement and benefit of Fairmont and Martin County, this business, I think, will be an integral part of that work. So ladies, where's that business?
Fairmont Brewing.
That's right, that's the Fairmont Brewing Company. Coming to downtown Fairmont, the Fairmont Brewery will offer fresh brewed craft beer sourced from the local waters of our beautiful chain of lakes. Again, Fairmont Brewing Company is coming soon, serving fresh craft beer and pasture-raised heritage pork brats. That means we've got a tie, ladies. This is a problem that we have to resolve. So we're going to have our tiebreaker, and it's going to be between Alexandra and Linsey, right? 3, and 2, Candy, we really appreciate you being here. And you put up a good fight, too. 2 points is nothing to sneer at. So, nice work. And, again, beautiful hats. I just love them. I want one. But I won't hold grudges. I don't do that. Unless it's for hats. So, we're going to get to our tiebreaker. Ladies, Linsey and Alexandra, where's that business?
Martin County on TV.
That's right. It's the building you're in right now. That is Martin County on TV. And it's funny because behind our lovely studio audience, that's the wall you've been staring at this entire time. So there you go. That is the tiebreaker for today, and that means we have our brand new champion right here. This is yours. Congratulations. Now, Martin County on TV is here in Our Story Studio Productions, and it's a new television show, and all of this work that's being done to promote Martin County and all the great things that are happening here in Martin County and Fairmont and everything around here, including the Fairmont Opera House, and all the wonderful stuff that you guys do as well. We've got the boutique downtown, the city of Fairmont doing wonderful things, and Eye Candy doing these wonderful things with the hats that I'm not bitter about, and the bags. It's been wonderful to have all three of you here today. Thank you so much. I look forward to the next time that we get to spend together and you get to come back and defend your title here on Where's That Business. It's Blake here from the Fairmont Opera House. Thanks for sharing your time with us. We can't wait to see you again on Where's That Business.
Now it's time for a segment we call
Martin County on TV, Out and About.
Today we're going to take a look at a business you're sure to want to learn about, Dee's Floral, downtown Fairmont. Dee, are you there?
Yes, Jeff, I'm here.
Dee, we're excited to have you on the show. Can you tell a little bit about the store's history and give us a tour, perhaps?
Yes, Jeff. This is Dee's Floral. I've been here for 8 years. If you hear the buzzer going, I have people coming in and out visiting and shopping. I have been in the floral business for about 35 years, so something that I've enjoyed doing, but we can show you walking around the store. And we can start over here. We do a lot of green plants for different occasions. We do have a lot of silk flowers, and we do have different arrangements. If you have a container at home that you'd like to bring in, and we can fill it for you. We're starting to get into spring and summer, so the brighter colors. Greenery is always nice to add a little green touch to the house. We have a lot of different greens, a lot of different gifts. We do a lot of home decor, kind of country, and then we have a lot of whites is very popular. We do a lot with the lighted up trees, a few puzzles. We do quite a bit with memorial items. We have stones and lanterns. We like to decorate in here so things change for the seasons and move things around. There's always something fresh going on here.
The store looks great, Dee.
Thanks, Jeff. And this is the memorial stones that I was talking about. And also over here we have the gift card, different kind of greeting cards. We have a lot of people that come in and shop them. And then over here in our coolers we always have fresh flowers, some that are made up, or you can come in and pick out flowers and we can make something special up for you. A nice mixed bouquet is always nice. A lot of our flowers are growing up in the cities locally, and they are always very pretty.
Dee, that guy is standing next to you looks kind of familiar.
And I just want to take a second here. Tom is our designer. He's been here for longer than I have. He's actually working on an arrangement here where I'm getting a few things ready to go out for deliveries today. There's one more thing I wanted to show you. We get flowers in twice a week, and they come in and they look like this. We process them. Lilies take a little while to open up, and it's always fun to see them when they come in. It makes it bright and cheery, and that is the tour of our shop.
Dee, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do it?
You can always give us a call to order your flowers. You can see us on our webpage, or you can like us on Facebook. So there's a few different ways to get a hold of us.
Love it, Dee. Thanks for the tour.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. We'd love to have people come downtown and visit us. A lot of new things are happening downtown, and we'd love you to come in and check out the shop.
A special thanks to Dee for giving us the tour, and we'll see you next time on
Martin County on TV, Out and About.
Well, there you have it, another episode of Martin County on TV. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we welcome you to tune in again. Thank our sponsors for making this happen, and remember, it's not just the past, but the present that tells our story.